Right, hi everyone. In this video, I'm needing your help in terms of motivation or just confidence. I'm needing confidence in this. I am this close to dumping some money and buying a Nikon D810. And in the past I've done videos where I'm saying, I'm selling all my Nikon stuff, and I did. I sold it all, but I couldn't, in the end, I couldn't sell my Tamron 24-70. I've still got my fisheye, my 10.5mm fisheye, and I've still got the 50mm. Which, what I do is I use them on my Fuji S5 Pro camera, which I've got. So I've still got some lenses which I can use on Nikon, and just like, so second hand and at current prices, 2006, January, February, we're in March now, I can get a Nikon D810 with only maybe a couple thousand photos taken on it for around about £1,400, £1,500. And that, in comparison to what like you get in, if I was to buy it from one of the camera shops in town, new, is still £2,200 if you were to buy it new in a box from a shop just along the road. So I could potentially be saving nearly £1,000 just buying one which has been barely used, considering that camera is rated up to 200,000 photos. But do I need it? Do I need it at all? This is the thing, is am I just spending £1,500 on something I don't need? Because recently I was just out shooting, so this is just a ramble video, this is me just rambling. Just at the weekend I was shooting with my Fuji S5 Pro, and the files I get from it, lovely. But the LCD screen on the back is so crap. The buffer rate for the photos, even though it's only a 12 megapixels, or technically 6, is so crap. I take about 5 photos and it takes an age for it to be able to let me take another photo again. And especially I'm shooting RAW and JPEG at the same time. It was abysmal. And even with the small photo size, it's still huge file size, and it takes up pretty much all of the memory cards very quickly. And the autofocus on it as well, just so slow, so crap, compared to when I was shooting with, because I've had the Nikon D600, I've had the Nikon D750, and I've had the Nikon D800. And the autofocus on those cameras is just a whole world away, just a universe away in terms of quality, accuracy, speed. The other one is like ignition time. No, that's not the right word. It's not ignition time, but activation time, I think. From when you press the shutter for it to, you know, if you half press for it to then go, let's find focus. In my Fuji, half press it goes, I'll think about it, maybe I'll look for focus. So there's not, it's just not a camera where you can just pick up and go, hey, I'm going to take a photo, bang! Oh, no, I've got to wait for it to find focus. It's really, really ball-suckingly slow. And when I had the D800, the image quality, the file quality, the dynamic range, the colors, everything was just so damn good. So good. But I sold it because I didn't really need it. I just bought it for doing a review. However, for my work, my Canon 5D Mark II, I'm starting to not appreciate it that much. The ISO noise is starting to annoy me, because I'm seeing, in comparison to some other companies, the dynamic range and some of the photos that are being put up, I'm going, that is definitely not a Canon photo. And it's not an HDR, it's just a good file where they've edited the photo, where they've got great amount of information in the shadows, especially if the sun is behind a building. some of the photos of them seem like, damn, that's better than what I can get with my camera, or at least I could get that, but my camera would be, or my image would be filled with noise, green colors everywhere. And as many of you may have seen, I've done some videos showing that even my Panasonic GH4, which is a micro 4/3 camera, has better ISO and better noise cancelling ability than my Canon 5D Mark II. But that's the thing, the Canon 5D Mark II, I've got my wide angle lens for doing property, it's easy to work with, its buttons are all in the right places, its menu systems are so easy to deal with. So I'm going to have to completely relearn with Nikon. The only thing I can think is if I buy the D810, that is a lifer. I need petrol. That is a lifer, as in that's something which I will just keep forever, and that could be the camera which I pass down in the future to my son, Logan, whenever he really develops his interest in photography, or even just taking videos of himself or something like that. It's got 1080p video, it can do it at 60 frames a second, it's got 5 frames a second photo, which can go up to 7 if you get the battery pack, and if you're doing it in DX mode and all that kind of stuff. Also, if I stick a DX lens, so let's say I get the the Tokina 11-16 or the 11-20, I could stick that on the Nikon D800, I could have it 11, I could shoot in DX crop mode on the D800 and still have 15 million pixels for my images, which is 70% more than what I actually need for actually delivering to clients. And shooting at 11mm means I've got more depth of field at f4 than if I'm shooting full frame. I would need 16mm. So there is a benefit to that. That is quite handy, and the dynamic range you get in those images is just so good at the moment. But it's just dumping $1.5 grand is for me, that is 6 months of mortgage payments for me, if I divide my half of the mortgage and Kim's half of the mortgage. Yeah, that's 6 months of mortgage payment, and it leaves me with not a huge amount of money in my bank afterwards. But the files I got in the D800 was so nice, and everything seems to be slightly improved in the D810. It's got faster, or a more updated autofocus. It's got a higher ISO rating, even though the sensor is meant to be kind of the same. Damn, that guy's got a cool bike. If any of you've got a D800, could you just put comments down below just saying, Dom, stop thinking about it, go for it. It's an amazing camera, and that price is awesome, you will never regret it. Because at the same time, I'm also thinking, like, I want smaller like, this is the problem, is that I'm wanting a smaller camera. I've just recently bought was it a 3-axis gimbal thing for me to do some of my video work in work. And that's where I'm thinking maybe a Sony A7S would be the better camera, because it's smaller, it's lightweight, I could get it to be the, I could use it for my glide cam kind of thing, which I've bought. But the batteries, that's the other thing, the Nikon batteries just last forever, it's so good. If any of you are out there and you've bothered listening to this ramble, and you know the pain of gear acquisition syndrome, gas, and understand the value of money of £1,500 or whatever it is, let me know. Cheers, bye bye everyone.